My name is Derek from Tomcat Gas Training. Welcome to this video from PHEX Manchester 2023, where we're going to take a look at the new Baxi 800 Combi 2. So let's get on with it, let's get in the stadium, let's get to the exhibition and find out exactly what's inside the new Baxi 800 Combi 2. In September 2019, Baxi launched the 800 range of boilers. In May 2023, Baxi launched its latest 600 and 800 Combi and System 2 boilers to suit the new features introduced as a result of feedback from heating engineers. This boiler now comes with fully recyclable packaging. There is no polystyrene in the box of this boiler. Now the Baxi 800 Combi 2 is manufactured in the UK and it has a 10-year parts and labour warranty. It fits neatly into a standard kitchen cupboard. The boiler is 395mm wide, 700mm high, 285mm deep. You'll need a clearance of 2.5mm at the side, 178mm at the top and 150mm at the bottom. You will also need 450mm from the front for servicing. Now this is the first time I've actually seen this boiler, so let's take a closer look, and as usual with inside the boiler casing videos, let's start at the top of the boiler and work our way down. Now first of all, you can see there's not much change has happened to the turret from the outside. But inside the turret we now have this red cap which protects the flue seal from falling out. But just make sure you remove this red cap before you put the flue into the turret. We still need to screw the flue elbow to the turret with the two screws that are provided by the manufacturer. We've still got the usual Baxi flue gas analyzer and flue integrity test points, but don't forget to pour 300ml of water down the flue spigot before you actually attach the flue to fill the trap. Now, like the first version of the 800, this boiler still allows you to pipe up the back of the boiler without requiring a specialist standoff jig. Now let's have a look inside. First of all, we need to remove the front cover, and it's just these two screws here. Now the front cover's off. The first thing we can see is a stainless steel heat exchanger. Now let's drop this control panel, which is just held up with two magnets, so we can take a closer look. So this boiler has a new heat exchanger, which comes in 24 kilowatts, 30 kilowatts and 36 kilowatts. It's also natural gas and LPG out of the box. All you need to do to convert it to LPG is to adjust the CO2 on the zero governor. Then it's just a matter of marking on the data badge which boiler you've got, whether it's a natural gas one or an LPG one. Now just above the heat exchanger you can see Baxi still has its flue drip tray, which if you get any rain coming down the flue will go down to the condensate trap. Now just to the right of the heat exchanger you can see there is a 7-litre expansion vessel. To check the pressure in the expansion vessel, the Schreider valve is easy accessible, actually on the very top of the boiler, as you can see here. The expansion vessel is connected to the hydro block via this flexible connection with the quick release coupling at the top. Just in front of the expansion vessel is a Residio Honeywell fan. The gas valve is also Honeywell Residio, and so is the PCB. Now just to the left of the gas valve is a new diverter valve head, and just in front of the diverter valve is the new relief valve. Now the yellow nut you can see underneath the relief valve is actually a new way of draining the boiler. If you open this valve, it will actually drain the boiler without activating the relief valve. Just above the pressure relief valve is the low water pressure sensor. Now if we go to the right of the gas valve, the first thing you can see is the Grundfos ERP pump, fully modulating. Above the pump is the mechanical pressure gauge. You can see on the first generation of the 800, the mechanical pressure gauge was visible to the customer. On the new version, they have a digital one in the display for the customer. Just to the left of the pump, you can see the hot water flow sensor with the Hall effect sensor attached to the top. And smack bang in the middle is the domestic hot water plate-to-plate heat exchanger. To help this boiler work as efficiently as it can, it has two thermistors, one on the flow pipe here, and another one, what you can see here, just on the return pipe before it goes into the heat exchanger. So this Baxi 800, as you can see, still comes with a full brass hydroblock, unlike a lot of boilers which has composite. Now the 800 comes with a new condensate trap, which is a siphon trap, which also is preheated by the flow pipe, which aids the condensate not freezing in winter. So let's check out the wiring on this new 800 boiler. So this board is split into two sides, low voltage on the left, high voltage here on the right. So the white block you can see is for our live, neutral and earth, and the orange block is for our 240 volt control switching. So if we look on the low voltage side, the red block is for our open therm or R bus, and this grey coloured plug is for our weather comp. The blue one we don't use in the UK because that's for a hot water cylinder. Let's check out underneath the boiler and see what the pipe configurations are like. Now the first thing is, this is a drain plug which will help you drain inside the boiler if you spill any water in there while servicing or repairing the boiler. Now the first connection you see on the left is a condensate, then you can see this new blow off push fit connection, then it's the flow pipe, then the hot, then the gas connection, which is new with a new position for the test point, then the cold, then the return. The Baxi 802 still comes with the same filling loop that the old 800 came with. You can also see there's two cable glands to allow for easy wiring of the boiler. Now this 800 also comes with this magnetic filter. Now this flue system you can see behind the filter, I thought was a really good idea. Now I was quite impressed by this new Baxi flue system. So it just looks like a standard horizontal telescopic flue system, but it's actually been designed so you can install this from the inside to out. So if you're in a upstairs or in a loft and you can't get a ladder up to the flue system, then you can core out the hole. Then you can use either of these two black collars to seal the outside wall without the use of using any sand or cement or anything, and you can seal the inside then with sand and cement and use the white collar to make it look nice. But what you will have to do is remove the standard turret from the boiler and then install this specialist turret with the sample points built into the flue elbow. Now, like all the new Baxi flue systems, this flue system does allow you to have some white on show, basically no more than 100mm of white on show on the outside. Baxi have also changed the display and the controls on this new boiler. When you initially turn the boiler on, it will go through its initiation process and it will go through till it comes to the de-aeration program. The de-aeration program lasts for 6 minutes and 20 seconds, which you cannot skip, and every time you turn the boiler on and off at the main power, the boiler will go through the de-aeration program. Now what this does is it puts the pump on, it puts the diverter valve in mid position, but it doesn't turn on the boiler, so it can get rid of all the air from the plate-to-plate heat exchanger and the main heat exchanger to help the heat exchanger prolong its life. Just make sure the automatic air vent cap is open to allow the air to escape. This is located just on the back of the pump, just behind this mechanical pressure gauge. To put this boiler in chimney sweep mode, press this return and reset button for about 5 seconds. The boiler is now in low rate. Now if I turn the hot water control knob clockwise, we now get a small h, which is central heating rate. If I turn the knob again, I get a capital H, which is now in high fire. I can now flick between the two by just turning the knob. Once I finish my commissioning, press the return button and we're back to normal. Now that is the end of this video on the new Baxi 800 Combi 2. Hopefully you've liked the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!